when I die, what will happen? I would suggest that even if I explain to you what I think or I know will happen after death, what is the guarantee that I am speaking the truth? Tell me. Several books have been written in which, really seriously, I'm not avoiding your question. Several books have been written on this about after death, what will happen to the soul, where will it go? What if I'm wrong or I'm just trying to answer your question by inventing something? There's no way you can find out. Okay, having said that, my suggestion would be that try to advance yourself in the spiritual field, in the sadhana, so that you will find your answer when you come to this problem of death, because sooner or later we all have to face it. Yes or no? Has anybody not faced it? We have to face it. Not today, tomorrow, any time. So I would suggest that the best thing would be to move forward in the spiritual training, which we call sadhana, until we are in a position to see if we are only the body or we are something other than the body. First thing to understand. If we are other than the body, then surely there must be somewhere there must be when the body is dead. Cannot suddenly wind up. What happens to all the energy that was there, which asked the questions, which is waiting to get the answer? So there is something, right? There is some energy. We can't be just a bundle of flesh and bones. There's something more. So if you advance in your sadhana, you will come to a state where you will actually know that you are not this body. You'll also know that in the dream, when you imagine in the dream that you're flying high, you're actually flying, not the body. And then you'll have some kind of an understanding of whether the body, whether you really exist after the body dies. In my experience, yes. You don't have to accept it. This is why I'm saying move forward so that you find it for yourself. In my understanding, yes, after the body dies, there is an intelligence which exists. Now, you said about the karmas. Will it be there with the soul or not? And the Gita describes it beautifully by saying, when the soul leaves the body, it goes off carrying the seeds of its karmas, like the wind carrying the fragrance of the flowers. You can't see it, but it is there. In the same way, whatever potentialities you have, whatever karmas you have performed, whatever likes and dislikes you have, because most people don't end their likes and dislikes by the time they die, it's still there. So you carry all this and you go with. If you ask me, is there a form? For some time, I would say there is a form. When its form is like exactly the body which you occupy, but much more glorified, this body is not so beautiful. The inner body is much more beautiful than this body. We call it the Shushma Sharira. The Shushma Sharira is more beautiful, finer than the Sthula Sharira which you have. So that, all this, please, you can only take it from me. You have to understand it yourself. I'm just saying what I know, okay? Now, this Shushma Sharira leaves the body. According to us, it hovers around for a couple of days and then goes. We think 3 days. That will not be so accurate. Then, so if it goes after this wandering around, you come to, you must have some place to stay, right? Can't be all the time hovering around. So there is a place where you stay, and there are guides. There's nothing to be afraid. There are guides. There are teachers, and you stay for the length of time to which you have done good deeds, which you must have read in books. I don't have to read. And then you come back into a womb where you can further evolve. Only thing is, when you come back, you forget all about it and again go back to this. You find out for yourself this womb with the help of helpers who are around you, which is good for me so that I can evolve in my soul can evolve to perfection in the next birth. You choose and you come back. This is what happens. If you ask me, do you believe therefore in past birth and future birth? I would say yes, because it is not a belief for me, it's a fact for me. I can't uh, prove it to you. I cannot prove. Logically, you might be able to prove, but not actually. How can I do it? Especially because the soul cannot be put in a test tube. And so yes, there are other realms. See, do you really think, being an intelligent young man, do you really think there can be life only on this little planet? No, no, just think about it today. There must be. This is a wide universe. You can't say just because only in the earth there is oxygen, there can be life only here. Can we say that? Who knows if those creatures need oxygen or carbon dioxide to breathe? And again, if I say this, you may get worried. Do you really think that there are only so many people sitting here? Seriously. You might think so. You might think so, but it is not so. Now, if somebody begins to, on the basis of that, talk to others and all, they'll think he's completely gone. So instead of looking at you, I'm looking here and saying, ah, hi, so what happens? So this guy is gone. So, it's like that. Just keep this in mind that there are many realms, many dimensions to the soul, to the consciousness. And we can find that if we move along the spiritual path and develop our understanding and our abilities, so we can see. Hmm?